Hello guys, myself Dr. Aditya Prasad Padi and welcome to my channel The Surgery Times, and don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram and Telegram. So now today's topic is urology TNM classification. So we will cover all the classification, TNM classification, and according to 8th AJCC in 8 pages. This is kidney, ureter, bladder, okay, prostate, urethra, then penis, then scrotum. All these we will discuss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 carcinomas, okay, in 8 pages we will discuss. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel and try to listen the full video once. Then subsequently you will remember after 2-3 revisions, and then the second third revision you speed up it so that easily you can catch up also. Okay, so let's start. Our first is kidney. So here is the diagram of kidney. This is taken from belly lobe, and so from prior to that, we should remember T1, T2, T3, T4. Always there are 4 in urology, not more than that. And in T1, so there are 2 kidneys are there. Okay, so 2 kidneys साथ साथ है. Okay, and no GF, no adrenal. GF, adrenal. Remember this. With this we will complete our kidney session. Okay, so first is less than 7 centimeter, more than 7 centimeter, T1, T2 over. T3 is major veins and perinephric tissues are involved, and not beyond the gerotal fossa, and not ipsilateral adrenal is involved. T4 is GF, gerotas fossa it will cross, and ipsilateral adrenal will involve. Okay, so T1, T2, T3, T4, remember like this. Now the first is overall you have to remember. Then after that, the inside. Okay, subclassifications. So T1A is less than equal to 4 centimeter. It is 4 to 7 centimeter. Okay, more than 4 to less than equal to 7. So one significance you should remember is more than 4 less than equal to 7 cm. What does it mean? It means it is more than 4, not including 4. If it will ask a tumor of 4 centimeter found in the left kidney, so what is the TNM staging according to this? Then the T should be, as it is 4, it is 1A. If it is 4.1 even, then it will come to 1B. If it is 7.1, then it will come to T2. So like that, you should remember all these things. Okay, and this is the basic. So T1 is less than 4 centimeter, 4 to 7 centimeter. Then more than 7, less than equal to 10, and more than 10. Remember? Now next is gerotas fossa and adrenal not involved. Gerotas fossa and adrenal is involved. Now inside is T3A, 3B, 3C. So 3A, 3B is renal vein and branches and pericardial system is involved, and perirenal or renal sinus is involved, but not beyond the gerotal fossa. Now 3B, 3C, this is the diagram, and above and below. Okay, so below is 3B, above is 3C. So remember like this, and in the diagram you can see this is T1, stage 1, stage 2. Okay, stage 3 and 4. So 4 ipsilateral adrenal is also involved, which is nowadays now recommended. Okay, tumor beyond gerotas fossa involving the adrenal. And T3 is this is the gerotal fossa, it is not out of that. And T1B, as you can see, it is less than 4 centimeter, 4 to 7 centimeter. Just remember this. And the formula is SAT SAT. Okay, 2 kidney SAT SAT, no GF, no adrenal. With this, you can remember easily. And GFR adrenal. So N0, N1 is no regional lymph node involvement. NX is regional lymph node cannot be assessed. Okay. Here also TX is cannot be assessed. Primary cannot be assessed. T0 is no evidence of primary. I will not discuss further about this. Only T1, T2, T3, T4 you should remember. And M0, M1 is no distal metastasis and distal metastasis is present. Now next we will jump into ureter. Okay, so just a recall, this is a kidney, this is ureter. So kidney, how will you remember? Sath no GF, no adrenal, GF, adrenal. Okay, T1, T2, T1, T2, T3, T4. Now ureter, TX, T0, same. Here new term is T1A, ATA and TIC. Papillary invasive carcinoma comes under TA, whereas TIC is carcinoma in situ. Now here how will you remember? T1, T2, T3, T4. So now is SEMPO, SEMPO. Okay, this is the formula and you can easily remember this. T1 is involvement of subepithelial connective tissue. Now T2 is involvement of muscularis. T3 is beyond muscularis but into and also into periureteric fat, whereas T4 is adjacent organ, O organ. Okay, SCMPO. We are using shampoo in our hair wash. Okay, so remember like this: ureter, shampoo, and the N classification is also simple. That is, in shampoo you can see there are double O. So less than 2 centimeter, more than 2 centimeter. 2 is related to this. You remember, and there are two ureter also. So N1, N2 less than equal to 2 centimeter single lymph node involvement, and more than 2 centimeter multiple lymph node involvement is N2, and NX, N0 same. These are not important. Only T1, 2, 3, 4 we will discuss, and N. Now next we will jump into urinary bladder. Okay, so bladder, you can see first here the diagram. There are, you should clear the boundaries so that it will easier. So first is mucosa, submucosa, muscle, and subserosa and perivesical fat. Now peritoneum. So from inside out, this is the inner structure of the bladder. Okay, this is, so here cut and the section is zoomed out. So remember this. Okay, now we will go into detail about the TNM classification. So first is T1. So T1 is involvement of lamina propria. Okay, so lamina propria, this one T1, only lamina propria is involved, whereas T2 is a muscularis propria. Okay, so remember this one. This is the muscle layer, so it involved in the muscle layer, and muscular propria superficial dip we will discuss later. So LM, remember MP, okay, then PV. Now perivesical soft tissue. This is perivesical soft tissue. These are involvement. Okay. Now next is extravesical. PV, EV. Extravesical means outside of the bladder. Okay. So outline how to remember this is LM. The last letter will be first. MP, PV. Now this one is EV. T1, T2, T3, T4. So T1 is lamina propria, and T2 is muscularis propria, and T3 is perivesical fat, and T4 is extravesical tumor invading the prostate, seminal vesicle, uterus, vagina, and pelvic and abdominal wall. Okay, prostate, seminal vesicle, uterus, vagina. Remember this. This is T4A. T4 is abdominal pelvic wall. No need to worry. So muscular is propria T2A and B. You can see A is superficial muscular propria, whereas deep is B. Okay, remember. Now T3A, 3B. So same, microscopically visible, macroscopically visible, 3A, 3B, and overall it involves the perivesical soft tissue. So remember LM, MP, PV, EV. Now next is lymph node. Lymph node, first is single regional lymph node, multiple regional lymph node. Now metastasis to common iliac lymph node. Common iliac lymph node. Hello? Remember? So single, multiple, common iliac lymph node. Now M1, M0, no metastasis, distal metastasis. Now single regional lymph node can be from perivesical, obturator lymph node, internal, external iliac, and sacral. Okay, perivesical, first bladder surrounding. Okay, obturator, internal or external iliac. Now sacral. So perivesical, regional lymph nodes, simply. Okay, so we will move to our next. That is prostate. Prostate. So T1, T2, T3, T4. So remember, prostate and all words are from P only here. Okay, clinically not palpable. Next is palpable. T1, T2. T3 is extra prostatic, okay, extra prostatic, not fixed, whereas T4 is extra prostatic but fixed. So palpable, not palpable, okay. So extra prostate and extra prostate, but it is not fixed, it is fixed. Okay, so no confusion. You remember like T1, T2, T3, T4. So first is palpable, it is not palpable. Extra prostatic fixed. Khatam. So all are from P. Now next is in the diagram you can see T1 is only not palpable and T2 can be palpable. T3 is extra prostatic but not fixed and in or not fixed to the adjacent structure, but in T4 adjacent structure can be involved like external or the other like structures like external sphincter, bladder, rectum, levator muscle, pelvic wall. Okay, so simply remember this one first. Then inside it, T1 A B C. One is not palpable first of all. So not palpable means it is microscopically we have to see. Okay, palpable means we can palpate and find out the staging inside. And T3 is extra prostatic. Extra prostatic extension is present unilateral or bilateral, and tumor inverts into seminal vesicle or prostate vesicle. P. 3A, 3B. Easy. Now T1 is always remember 5%. In 5% we are subdividing it. So incidental HP in 5% or less in tissue resector, whereas it is more than 5% T1B. And in C, T1C, needle biopsy in one or both side, but it cannot be palpable, you know. Okay, needle biopsy by from one or two side you can identify in T1C. T1A, T1B is less than 5%, more than 5% of the tissue resected. Now T2A, B, C is, it is T1, T2A is less than half of one side, 2B is more than half of one side, but not both side, whereas this is both side. Okay, so if this is the prostate, T2A is half of one side. Let's say half of one side. The red person is T2A. T2B is more than half of one side. Say this much, more than half. This one is T2B. Okay, T2C is, it can be more than half and both side is T2C. Okay, so remember this. So now we will move to our next, that is urethra. So till now let's revise. First is kidney. Kidney how are T1, T2, T3, T4 always remember this. So साथ no GFR, no GF, no girlfriend, no adrenal. Girlfriend adrenal. Then ureter. SEMPO. SE means one only. Subepithelial MPO. Muscularis. Okay. Subepithelial muscularis. Then periureteric, periureteric and other organ involvement. Next is bladder. For bladder, the layers we remember how LM, MP, PV, EB. Okay. Now next is prostate. Already we have covered. In the prostate, P. Okay. How remember P? Uh, prostate is not palpable. Prostate is palpable. Okay. See, prostate is palpable, not palpable. Prostate is palpable. Then extra prostatic tumor, and it is not fixed but extra prostatic tumor with fixed. Now next is urethra. So urethra, how will you remember? It is very easy. Okay, subepithelial, corpora spongiosum, corpora cavernosa, adjacent organ, this much. Okay, so subepithelial, first of all you can see this is the urethra. Okay, this is the corpus spongiosum. Okay, this is corpora cavernosa. So T1 is subepithelial, T2 is corpus spongiosum. This one is periurethral tissue is will be involved. Okay, now 3 is these two can be involved in T3. Okay, let's change the color. Actually, it will more visible. Okay, so so these two, okay, these two are like corpora cavernosa. This is spongiosum. And in T4, distant tissue or bladder or bladder wall can be involved. Now N1, N2 single or multiple lymph node involvement. Okay, so now next is what are the regional lymph nodes? So regional lymph nodes are perivesical, obturator, external, internal, iliac, presacral, and hypogastric. All these. So single in multiple lymph node involvement, one more extra is hypogastric lymph node. Remember this much. Now we'll kidney is over, ureter, then bladder, prostate. Okay, urethra already covered. Now the two is one is penis, one is testis. So in T1, T2, T3, T4. So as like before, subepithelial was in the previous one in urethra, but in penis lamina propria. Then same spongiosum, cavernosa, adjacent structure. You can see here same except this one. Okay, subepithelial tissue. Baki CSCCO, CSCCO. Now inside subdivisions you should remember. So glans in the this is the glans. Okay, so in the glans lamina propria is involved, whereas in the forescreen dermis this is the forescreen. Okay, forescreen dermis also involved, lamina propria, dartos fascia. So dartos fascia you can trace from here. This line is a dartos fascia. This can be involved in T1 and in the shaft tumor between epidermis and corpora, regardless of the location. So epidermis and between corpora. Okay, this is the T1. In the shaft in between epidermis and corpora, and forescreen in the dartos or dermis, and glans is the lamina propria. Now T2 is very simple, that is corporal spongiosum in the glans as well as ventral shaft, whereas T3 is corpus cavernosa, and in both urethral invasion may or may not be present. And then T4 adjacent structure like scrotum, prostate, and pubic bone. Leave it. Now, so remember this one first. T1, T2, T3, T4, easy. After that, the subdivisions. So now clinical and pathological lymph node subdivisions you should know. N1, N2, N3. So palpable unilateral inguinal lymph node, whereas N2 is more than two unilateral or bilateral lymph node, and N3 is fixed. Okay, inguinal lymph node or pelvic lymph node, unilateral as well as bilateral. Okay, so N2, N3 unilateral as well as bilateral, whereas N1 is only unilateral. N1 remember unilateral, and N2, N3 means bilateral, uni or bi both. Okay, so difference is N2 is more than 2, whereas and not fixed, but in N3 it is fixed. Now pathological means in histopathology, how will you differentiate N1, N2, N3? It is less than 2 lymph node involved, unilateral, okay, regional lymph node, but no extension should not be there. Okay, and here just one. So extranodal extension is not there in N1, whereas in N2 also no extranodal extension, but here extranodal extension is there in N3. So simply I am again saying you remember T1. T1 means lamina propria, corpora spongiosum is T2, and CSCCO. Remember this. Now N1, N2, N3, no confusion, it is unilateral. These both are bilateral. Okay, but here the tumor is not fixed, here it is fixed. It is more than 2 in N2. Now pathologically N1, N2, N3, it is unilateral, it is also unilateral or bilateral. Okay, just 1 minute. So this one is unilateral. It can be unilateral or bilateral. But the important is in N1, N2, no extranodal extension. In N3, extranodal extension is there. Okay. So now let's revise once again. In kidney, SAT, GF adrenal, no GF, no adrenal, GF adrenal. Then ureter, SEMPO. In bladder, we remember the wall wise. Okay, LP. Just 1 minute. Okay, in the bladder, LM, MP, PV, EV. Now in the prostate. In the prostate, how we remember? Not palpable, palpable. Okay. Extra prostatic not fixed, extra prostatic fixed. This one. Only T classification I am saying. Okay. Now next after that, ureter, urethra. Okay. Urethra. So in urethra as well as in penis, the classification is same only. In urethra as well as penis. Okay, urethra, penis. What is the difference I am telling you? Subepithelial connective tissue is T1, T1, T2, T3, T4. Keep in mind, I am only telling. Subepithelial, here is lamina propria. Next is uh, CS, CS, CC, CC, other organ, other organ. Okay, now we will go to our last is testis. Testis carcinoma, how will divide? So T1, T2, T3, T4. Okay, it is limited to testis without involving of lymphovascular involvement, but rectal testis is included. Okay, rectal testis is included. I just added one picture so that it can be easily understandable. First is tumor is limited to testis. Tumor is limited to testis. Here is also tumor is limited to testis, but without lymphovascular invasion. Here with lymphovascular invasion. Here the rectal testis is involved. Here the tumor may invading the hilar soft tissue, epididymis, or penetrating the visceral mesothelial layer with or without involvement of lymphovascular invasion. So either of this one or this one. Now the T3 is tumor invades the spermatic cord with or without LVI. T4 is tumor invading the scrotum with or without LVI. LVI is lymphovascular invasion. So easily we can remember how. Now first is here without lymphovascular invasion in T1, whereas these are with or without lymphovascular invasion. Easy. And first one is limited to testis only, but involvement of rectal testis. In T2, see the picture. Okay, limited to testis only. Okay, rest we will see. And in T3, you can see it is involved the spermatic cord. Okay, in T4, entire scrotum is also involved. Okay, with or without lymphovascular involvement. Now T1 is less than 3 centimeter, more than 3 centimeter, more than equal to 3 centimeter. And in T2, the extra point you should remember, it can be limited to testis with lymphovascular invasion or tumor invading the hilar soft tissue, epididymis, or penetrating visceral mesothelial layer, visceral surrounding visceral mesothelial layer with or without lymphovascular involvement, also coming under T2. T3 is spermatic cord, T4 is scrotum. Now N classification is it is less than equal to 2 centimeter, 2 to 5 centimeter, more than 5. 2, 2 to 5, more than 5. Okay, so it is less than equal to 2. It is more than 2 but less than 5. It is more than 5 centimeter. Okay, and okay, less than 2 centimeter or multiple lymph node not more than 2 centimeter. If single, it should be less than equal to 2 centimeter in N1. If multiple lymph nodes, it should not be exceeded more than 2 centimeters. Same. So N2 is also, it can be 2 to 5 centimeter, or multiple lymph node if present. Any one should be more than 2 centimeter or less than 5 centimeter. No need to worry. Only remember less than equal to 2 to 5, more than 5. Now serum markers. Okay, serum mark is last है हमारा, लास्ट है अपना. ओके, सीरम मार्क लास्ट है अपना. Okay, LHA, remember this one is the last and last of the topic also, last है अपना. So remember like LHA, S1, S2, S3. Okay, so I will tell one formula. 1.5 minus 0.5 is equal to 1. Last है अपना is important, and 1.5 minus 0.5 is 1. Remember like this. So it is less than 1.5 into n, it is less than 5000, and it is 1000. Okay, so just to remember, I am saying the formula. Okay, here the n indicates the upper limit of the normal for LDHSA. Okay, it is the upper limit of normal for the LDHSA. So leave it. Now S1, S2, S3. Okay, less than 0.5, less than 5k, less than 1k, 5000. Okay, 1000. So now 1.5 to 10. Here 5 to 50. Here 1000 to 10,000. Okay, 1000, just add 10, 10,000. 5, just add 10, 50. Here more than 10. Okay, less than 1.5, 1.5 to 10, more than 10. Here less than 5,000, 5,000, 50,000, more than 50,000. It is less than 1,000, 1,000 to 10,000, more than 10,000. So remember this formula. And last है अपना. Now you go through this in detail about the kidney. Okay, साथ साथ no girlfriend, no adrenal, girlfriend, adrenal. Ureter, SE, subepithelia, MPO. Okay, muscularis, periureteric, and organs, surrounding organs. Now bladder, according to wall, lamina propria. Okay, just to remembering, I am making it M, lamina propria, so that in the last word, muscularis propria. Okay, then perivesical, extravesical. Now next is prostate. Prostate, we remember how, not palpable. Okay, palpable, extra prostatic not fixed, extra prostatic fixed. Now next is urethra. In urethra, how we remember? In urethra as well as in penis. How we remember? In only difference is in T1, that is subepithelial in urethra, whereas in testis it is lamina propria, and rest is CSCCO. Now our last is scrotum. Already we discussed in the last, that is limited to testis. Okay, remember this diagram, limited to testis. It is also limited to testis without involvement with involvement of lymphovascular invasion, whereas it is without lymphovascular invasion. And in between T3 and T4, T3 is spermatic cord and scrotum. Okay, so this much you remember, and you revise this 2-3 times, and you will remember. It is very important, and it is the recent one, 8th AJCC. Okay, 8th AJCC in 8 pages. Just you remember and mug up the things, because the direct questions you may face in the exam, as well as this can be modified as a clinical questions also. And don't forget to subscribe our channel, the surgery times. Okay, so we will meet with you with our next session. So till then, thank you and goodbye.